Hello YouTube, and welcome to your 18th Microsoft Visual Basic 2010 Express tutorial. And in this tutorial we're going to be passing arrays as parameters. Now I know that sounds really complicated, but well, it is. But I'll try my best to explain it. This is literally like the 5th time I've recorded this, trying to explain it the best I can, and I get a bunch of errors and crap. So to start off, go over to your form, add a button, set the text to arrays as parameters, and the name to button param array. Add another button that says more array parameters, and then set the name to button more param. And now we're ready to start coding. So go ahead and double click on form 1. And no, don't double click on form 1 yet. Just come over to form1.vb, which is where all your code is, and you're going to declare private string friends as string. So basically what that does is it creates an array of strings called string friends that any function inside of all of our code can use. Like if we create I, the integer I inside of this function right here, it can only be used inside of private sub button name array. But if we create string friends 3 array as a string, up here outside of everything we can use it inside of anything we want. So we'll just go ahead and declare that up top, and now double click on form 1 and just set the values for each one of those. So basically what this does is that when the form 1 loads and shows up, it sets all the values to this. Just take a look at that, copy that down. We've got Wendy, John, Sarah, and Kyle for all 4 of them. And now go ahead, double click on arrays as parameters, clear the list, and then type add items to list string friends. You don't know what this is yet, but it's calling a function that I created up at the top, and we're going to go up there and I'm going to explain the code to you. And this is basically what passing arrays or any type of data type is. Passing it inside of these parentheses from another function. So basically we created this function, start off private sub, and we named it add items to list, and we set it to by val, which means that, let's open this up here, specifies that an argument is passed in such a way that the called procedure or property cannot change the underlying value of the argument in the calling code. So something about not being able to change a value. You don't have to know what this means right now. I really don't even understand that well what it means, because I'm going through a book right now. I'm reading through it and then teaching you guys what I learned, and sometimes I don't understand it all, so whatever. And then we declared array list, and it's an array. We haven't set a value to it as string, and you don't want to set you don't want to tell how many items are going to be in your array. And now we start. You can see in the last tutorial I did for I as integer equals 0 to 3, list friends items that add string friends I. Now that's not the best way to do it. I was just thinking in the last tutorial, I thought, oh, why don't I output everything in my array onto the screen without having to manually do each one. So I thought, oh, I'll create a for loop for I as integer equals 0 to 3, but that's not the best way to do it. You can do it that way, but you cannot do it the way that we're going to be using it up here in our function, because we want to be able to use any type. We want to use any array that we want for this. This is just, it's like an array independent function. You can use string friends, or you can create another array somewhere else and use it in this. It's just real generic, and you can put any array you want into it, and you don't have to change the code. So we start our for each loop. So for each, string name as string, so we declared string name as a string in array list. So basically all of the strings that are inside of array list, which is a what's it called? I just forgot. An array. Okay. Well, the array list. I feel stupid. But for all of the strings inside of array list, list friends.items.add string name, which is just basically it'll start off with the first string in your array. It'll go through the loop, and it'll go to the second. It'll go like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 through your loop each time, adding, and it'll just do all of them. And so then we just did next, which sends it back up to the top. And array list is it's what we're gonna use to it's what's there as the placeholder for what we're going to be using. If that doesn't make sense, then you see right here, add items to list string friends, which just switches out string friends with array list. So when we run this, you can see array element does that, but when we click arrays as parameters, it does the same thing, but essentially we just made it a lot more complicated, and there is a reason to that. You can use that later on. You will need to use that once you get into more advanced coding and stuff. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put it in there. And then when you click more array parameters, you can see it adds Elaine and Deborah. That's what I'm going to be going over now. I don't know how long this video is, but since YouTube bumped it up to 15 minutes, I don't care how long I make it. So now what we're going to do is you add the button more array parameters. Go ahead and double click on that. Start off by clear the list like we always do. Then we declared string more friends as string, and we put 2 different names in it. Then we just set the values of those right here, and then we did add items to list string friends. And since string friends is declared up here and not inside of this function, we can use it inside the function without having to declare one. And then add items to list string more friends, which will just